All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Lincoln. How are we all doing this morning? Yes. Hopefully you're getting caffeinated. All right. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. 1 Million Cups' mission is to create a space where startups, seasoned founders, curious newcomers come to build meaningful connections, collaborate, and pay it forward, strengthening Lincoln's inclusive and ever-evolving entrepreneurial ecosystem. 1 Million Cups is, this is our Midwest community region. I think there's a couple extra that aren't on this, but they're all over the place. So if you're ever traveling and on a Wednesday at 8:30 a.m., go visit another 1 Million Cups. We are the best, right, Dow? We are the best.
Yes, we are the best.
Yes. But all right, this wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. Of course, the Kauffman Foundation out of Kansas City. They're the ones that got this started. The Lincoln Partnership for Economic Development, Baird Home, one of our sponsors. They will be providing some office hours. Isabella is here after our program today, so if you have any legal advice questions, see Isabel after our presentations. Of course, Don't Panic Labs for our amazing space that we get to use every week. We are very grateful for this place. Escape Lincoln, one of our sponsors. The co-working places at Fuse and Turbine Flats. If you are attending 1 Million Cups today, you can work in one of those locations for free today. So you can go and just let them know that you attended 1 Million Cups. Of course, the Mill for our important coffee every morning. And then Merrill Lynch in Dow. She's one of our sponsors as well. Thank you to, oh, right. Oh, Dave's not feeling good, but he did make the cut. He did make the list today, finally. So our organizer team. My name's Dane Patton. I'm one of our organizers, along with Abby Bartholomew with LPED, Ann McClure, she's with Escape Lincoln, Amy Jurgens with SCC, Dow Starlita, she's our leader there. Dave Verbos, he's with Union Bank Place. He's not feeling good today. Lindsay's here with Don't Panic Labs. Sarah Spitzen with Wesleyan, and she had a staff meeting, so she's not here. And then Vaughn Carter is still in Scotland. Hopefully he comes back next week. Yeah. All right, be sure to check in. Get your phones out. Scan that. Get logged in. We like to keep a head count of how many people are showing up. That way we can brag to Omaha and tell them how much better we are than them. And then we'll send you one email a week to let you know who our presenters are for the coming week. That way you can stay informed, and then you can show up and then maybe invite a fellow entrepreneur or business owner. While your phones are out scanning this, please silence them. Like I said, office hours, we have Isabella after Dow's here. She will talk about investing questions. We have Lindsay here talk about all of your software questions. And I don't see Quentin, he's not here, but like I said, please silence your phones. And then we get to today's presenters. The first presenter we have today is the Community Justice Center with Marcel Kills Enemy. Come on up, Marcel. Let's give him a 1 Million Cups welcome.
So imagine that you had to wear a t-shirt, and on the t-shirt was the worst thing that you ever had done. Now, think about that, and think about what if that was all anybody ever seen of you? Okay? So when we think about our justice system, that's how our justice system often treats people, right? It takes a snapshot of their worst moment and then captures that, and then that becomes who they are. And that's how the system treats them. And not only system, but then also society as well. They also look at us and they'll say, oh, man, that's just a bad person. But the problem with that is that snapshot doesn't really capture who we are, right? Doesn't really capture what our potential is. And so the problem with that is when we get people and we trap them into what their worst moment is, oftentimes we trap them in shame. And when we reduce people to the worst moment that they made in their life, and we trap them in that shame, it's hard for them to change. Because when we think about it, shame is the enemy of change. So my name is Marcel. I'm with the Community Justice Center. And what we do is we are peer support specialists. When we travel across the state, we go to every facility, every prison, every jail. Well, not every jail, but jails. We go to every probation district across the state, and we present to individuals who are caught in that justice system. And so what we do is we give them a little bit of knowledge and awareness, maybe some skills. And so for the past 25 years, we have been doing this, and we have helped roughly about 23,000 people who have completed our class. And we don't just talk about what the behavior is that got them there. What we actually talk about is accountability. And what does accountability look like? Because when we think about accountability, it's one of those things that people don't often take, and our justice system doesn't hold people accountable. All our justice system does oftentimes is punish. So when we think about the punishment, our punishment often trapped with that shame doesn't lead to change. And so that's kind of why we are who we are, because we help people move from reactors to operators. Because a lot of times the individuals who we work with, they are trapped in this reaction mode, and they don't know how to really operate their own lives. And so me, when I was young, I was one of those individuals. I found myself trapped in this vicious cycle of just automatically reacting to everything. It didn't matter what it was. It could be people looking at me. It could be people coming in my space. It could be people who I felt were disrespecting me. And that path led me to incarceration. And with that, then I got trapped in that cycle of shame. And so it's very important for me and my other peers, my other brothers that also do this, because we've all walked that similar road. And so we have found a way to change that reactor to become that operator. And so that's what we give back. And so for me, it was really important because my incarceration was just a punishment, and my punishment didn't mean anything to me. I could do that every day, all day, because it was just a normal day in my life. And so when we think about the incarceration, there's a lot of individuals who function just like me, right? Where we are very impulsive. We are very stuck in that survival mode where we just do whatever we need to do to survive. And so why is it important that we do this? Because currently, nationally, 76% of people who are incarcerated return to incarceration. So think about that. 76% of people who are incarcerated return to incarceration. So how much does that cost? If we add up all the costs to taxpayers here in Nebraska alone, we are over $500 million a year. So think about that. That's $1 billion in 2 years. And so that's not a system failure. That's more of a human failure, because the way we treat people and the way we trap people in these cycles is really the problem. And so when we think about that, that's really what we need to do, because we need to close the gap. And when we talk about closing the gap, we reframe the whole thought of crime and justice and the whole justice system, right? Because a lot of times when we think about crime, what are we really talking about? We're talking about harm, right? And so that's what we present. We give them awareness of what was the harm that you caused. Because when we bring up the harm that they caused and we can bring it to the forefront and say, these are the people that you hurt, then it helps them now take accountability, right? And not just saying, yes, I did that, but truly taking accountability and saying, what is it that I did? Because it's not about the crime, it's about who it is that we hurt. And so when we can deal with what we have done, then we can next tackle the shame, and we can move out of that shame and then get to healing. And that healing is super important, because if you're not healed, guess what you do? You stay stuck in that same cycle. And so for us, that's why it's very important, because we see that there's a lot of potential in a lot of individuals that are incarcerated. Me, myself being one of those, all my brothers that do this, all the same amazingly talented people. And I will tell you that being able to work with incarcerated individuals, I get to see great artists, great inspiring leaders, just super intellectual people who just made a poor decision and got caught. And so when we think about that, why is it that we do this? It's because we need to change. And so how do we do it? So at the Community Justice Center, we do classes in all the facilities across the state. Like I said, probation districts across the state. So we travel from Lincoln up to South Sioux City to Nebraska City, all the way up to Scottsbluff. So I get a lot of windshield time, a lot of alone time, which can be good as long as I don't get lost in my thoughts. But then that is it, right? When we think about that, we give them an understanding of the patterns that they are stuck in. Because a lot of times we just don't realize how our traumas actually impact us, and then what does that do to us? Because then that makes us that impulsive person who is just trying to survive, as opposed to taking a step back and looking at it and saying, this is not that bad. I don't need to survive this moment. I'm okay. And so with that, then we can get them to start to action plan and think forward to the future and saying, what do I need to do to actually truly get change? How do I truly change? And then that's where it all comes together. And so why am I here today? Because really what we do, it's not just a one organization show. And so really what we are here for is to see, if we can find other like-minded individuals or other individuals that find the work that we do important and maybe partner with us. So maybe that's expanding access to other facilities, other groups, other schools, whatever it might be, or it might be investing in us so we can do more classes, so we could do more circles, so we could do more with our reentry services, or maybe a collaboration. That's the most important one, building relationships. That's what life is all about. How do we build great relationships? And so, of course, we have Give to Lincoln coming up this week shortly. So if you guys would like to connect with us, go ahead and scan the QR. We'll have community circles. If you've never been to one, it's a great healing experience. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you. I appreciate the time.
We have time for one or two questions?
Oh, yes.
Well, I really appreciate what your organization do, but I think that this is a systemic problem.
100%.
Because even if you are able to help the individual when they're in the system, in jail, what kind of resources or support do you have for them when they're out of jail?
Yes, that's a great question. Yes. So what do we do to help support them after their incarceration? So currently what we do is we give them skills and tools to help them while they're incarcerated to start to build the foundation for their life when they get out of prison and/or jail. Because there's a lot of things that we normalize just in life that are poor behaviors. And so the problem is once they go home, they still carry a lot of those same poor behaviors. So we try to strip all that down and get rid of all those poor behaviors first. And then we give them re-entry services. So for example, last night we're on 13th and P. Every Tuesday, every Wednesday, we host circles. And so we'll have the individuals that are on work release come and we'll just talk through life. What are the struggles we're going through? Because connection is the most important thing. And a lot of times, if you don't have good connections or support, that's what leads you to reoffend. And so we do that. And then in addition to that, we help buy them clothes, boots, suits if they need them for an interview, whatever they need, we help them. And then if we don't have the resources to do it and we know other organizations that will help us, we partner with them. So we'll partner with MHA, for example, mental health, if they need mental health services, if they need housing, whatever it might be. There's a lot of organizations that we work with. So let's go right here.
Thanks for taking my question. So you talked about the return of incarceration
Mhm.
and 6%. How does your program affect that number?
It has a pretty significant impact. So in Nebraska, last recidivism rates that came out, so they track a lot of different numbers, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year. The last 3-year recidivism rate, Nebraska was one of a few states that had an increase in recidivism, which is not a good thing. They say that out of every 2 people that enters a prison in Nebraska, one of them has already been there. And that recidivism goes up from 76% to like 90% when you get to 10 years. And so what do we do? How do we impact? It's a great question because we've been tracking data for 25 years. So we have 22 years of recidivism rate. Our recidivism rate for people who complete our class and get the support from us is 12%. So.
All right.
One more? All right, let's go.
So I do some work for the federal paralegal system, and
Okay.
I've noticed that there's a lot, a lot of them are addicted to drugs,
Mhm.
and they help get people in treatment, or is that part of your program?
Absolutely. So there's a couple different things that go into that because a lot of times we don't see addiction as a coping mechanism. And so we really help them understand why is that a coping mechanism that you use, right? And that's addressing old traumas. And so then with that, then of course we prompt them to mental health. And it's a great feeling, not to go on, Dane, but it's just a great feeling when you have a guy who is in prison for 20 years and he can break down and cry and say, I know I need help.
All right. Thank you, Marcel. All right. Here's our gift for you. And then we have one question.
Okay.
How can we as a community, what can we do for you?
Yeah, so just like I said, we're always looking for funding. We are a nonprofit organization, so if you're willing to donate, any amount of money is always good. It helps us continue doing circles, help us with reentry, so buying individuals boots, clothes, whatever the case might be, and/or the collaboration is really big. If we could build a partnership, let's build a partnership, right? So those are probably the biggest ones.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yep. Oh, here.
Oh, yes. Don't forget my mug.
Yeah.
I love this.
All right. And I forgot to announce at the beginning that the Give to Lincoln Day, that's on May 28th. So from the 1st to the 28th, we have the whole month. And this month at 1 Million Cups, one presenter each week is going to be a nonprofit. So, he put his code up there, a scan, so please give. How important it is for smaller nonprofits for us to support them in the work that they do. So, all right, we have our second presenter today. It's Jake Christensen. He's here to give us an update on MicroFarm OS. Yes, give him a 1 Million Cups welcome.
Yeah. All right. Okay, hi. Jake, MicroFarm OS. So when you think of the future of food, you might think of like huge swaths of land, bigger farms, automation, giant tractors or chemicals that, you know, prevent some kind of herbicide or pesticides. Oops, it's automatically going. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. But what if the future of food is in our backyard? What if the future of food is optimized for flavor profile and nutrient density rather than shelf life? And that's essentially what our bet is on the future. So what we would like to do is we would like to turn backyards into microfarms. And so how are we going to do this? So what we've identified, and when I say we, I mean the whole team at MicroFarm, what we've identified is that there are millions of people all over the United States that grow food in their backyards, small plots of land, and make food in their kitchens, in their home kitchens, under a cottage food license, that really don't participate in our food system. And also, we've identified that many cities all over the world, really, but especially the United States, we import most of our food. Here in Nebraska, just the state, I believe, we import 90% of our food from out of state. And it's interesting because when you think of Nebraska, it should be agriculture state, but Nebraska actually grows corn and soybeans and stuff like that. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to find all the backyard growers and we're going to onboard them and build a system to be able to network everybody together and have them be able to participate in the food system quickly and easily. So I'm here to just kind of give an update. So I think most of you have seen or heard about microfarms, but since the last presentation in January, I was honored by being selected as one of the top 6 grant winners for the Launch LNK. And yeah, thank you. So this is kind of cool. Look at this guy. I get to be right behind him. Yeah, I'm just ecstatic. I'm honored, and it was definitely a validating moment. Since then, we turned right around and went over to the state of Nebraska and said, hey, we've got a really cool idea and we've got some money and, you know, we want to build a prototype so we can prove the model. And we were able to secure a prototype. So that was kind of exciting. And since then, we have hit the ground running. We have started building out our beta. And I'm really excited. We hit an aggressive timeline. I'm really excited to, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we are looking to actually soft launch already here in a couple weeks. So this is going to be really exciting. Oh boy. So my job over the last like 30, 60 days has been going out and finding all the people that are growing food and making cottage food. This is a gentleman that imports coffee grounds and coffee beans from all over the world, and he roasts it here in Lincoln. So does anybody know Team Bean Coffee? This guy is awesome. He just built out this new space in his home. And he's actually looking to expand, and he's looking for more markets. And I'm going to stop this real quick here. So anyway, if you guys go to like Instagram, look at MicroFarm OS, you can actually watch it. This is a local grower here in town that was, she has a flower farm on the north side of Lincoln, and she's getting back into food production. This is actually a physicist at the University of Nebraska who reached out to me and said, hey, I love this concept. I have this hoop house and I have 8,000, or no, it's 800 square feet, but he has like a few thousand square feet of actual garden space. He's got 5 or 6 apple trees, pear trees, and this 25-year-old grapevine, which produces probably the best Concord grapes that I've ever tasted. Way better than anything that I've ever tasted in the grocery store. And I'm young enough to have only tasted those seedless grapes in the grocery store. And I'm turning 45 in a couple weeks, birthday party. But I am just blown away by the reception that we've had. I just posted a couple posts on Facebook. Next. Okay. Just a couple posts on Facebook yielded, and this is, that was the beginning of April. I had, in 1 week, I had 100 people sign up. So backyard growers, cottage food artisans, some that are both, and then even buyers are signing up. And so that was just a huge signal that this is like a pent-up demand. So I'm really excited about that. It's since grown. I couldn't find the new wait list or whatever. So what's next? Also, I got to meet the mayor, and I'm really excited to have met Kim Todd at the Backyard Farmer on, she runs the program Backyard Farmer on NET. And kind of a cool little thing is that we're going to do like a podcast type thing in the future. Also, I have really good support systems. I've just been diving in and meeting as many people as I possibly can. Nancy's on my advisory team. So is Tim over at Holly Hamlet. And then Sam Wortman. He runs the agronomy at UNL, and then Anna, she runs the sustainability office here in Lincoln. So really today, I wanted to be able to just answer as many questions as you guys can throw at me. I want to get some practice answering questions off the cuff. So MicroFarm OS, we're turning backyards into microfarms. So in the meantime, if you guys could scan this and send it to your mom and post it in your neighborhood group, everybody, so you can't leave until you do it.
Yes, you can.
All right, fine. So yeah, that's it. Questions? Thank you. Yes, sir.
So you got 25 that are on the client side that are into the platform. What's the nature of the individual buyers? Is it coming in as like businesses, farm-to-table restaurants, or just larger purchasing?
The buyers?
Yeah. Tell us about what happened.
Sure. Well, all the buyers that you saw in those numbers were just people with their families. The restaurants haven't necessarily raised their hand from a Facebook post. I've actually gone out and sourced those myself. So when I was in the I-Corps program last fall, I went out and just tried to cold call and approach people. And I had a few restaurants that were saying, yes, I want to buy local. I have no idea where the farmers are. And even if I did, I have no idea what they're growing. And I don't know when it's available. And so I was just like, okay, if I were to find all of that and get that information to you, would you buy? And they would absolutely say yes. So I do have a few restaurants that want to participate, and I don't know the exact number on like scale restaurant versus a family. My guess is probably somewhere like 25 to 1. So a restaurant will buy 25 times as much onions as a family would. That's a guess. I don't know.
25 big clients.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But the needs for the restaurant owner mirror the needs for a family. They want to know that the food is safe. They want to know that the farmer was using, best practices and low or no chemical type thing. They really want to source from the people that love the soil and love growing coolest, juiciest fruit.
Have you ever thought about partnering with nonprofits, i.e. developmental disabilities and or release programs, things like of that nature with the city?
I haven't, but that's a great idea.
There's a lot of community gardens and stuff that
Oh, yeah.
I see, well, the IDDD community, especially in Beatrice, I wrote one of the grants for them.
Cool.
Farming, exactly what this is, like a community-based
Yeah,
microfarm essentially, but I think that makes me to think about.
for sure.
To get some more visibility and also to give back to the community, and that would be a good ROI for your business.
Yeah, I think community crops, a lot of those folks love to grow and they don't always have a market for it. They don't always have a way to do it. So I think that this could be a good solution for them to be able to connect. Sure.
The churches have large plots of that, so.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Churches could raise some money. FFA chapters could raise some money and do that. Yeah.
As a grower, is there a certain criteria that they have to meet in order to participate in the program?
Good question. So yes and no. So recently Lincoln deregulated, well, made it very easy for people who grow food in the backyard to be able to sell produce out of their home, whether it's a porch pickup or a food stand or deliver straight to the consumer. And they are operating under the cottage food laws, but for the most part, fresh whole foods that come out of a garden that are grown in a city with the water supply that is supplied by the city is really deemed to be pretty safe as long as it's uncut. So as long as they don't cut it, washing it is fine. Like lettuce, if you were to harvest it and then wash it, that helps preserve it and whatnot. That's okay. But like any kind of cutting or preserving or anything like that is under different regulations. So yeah.
So there's a trend right now to fund programs that have innovative way to improve food security and also food safety. And I can see that you can, and also to use food as medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that you can partner with UNL. They have a food science research, and then to show to the funder that your program not only can, address the health health determinants,
Right.
but also improve health outcomes.
Absolutely. Recently, there was a conference that the UNL Extension Office held in partnership with the, I don't know exactly the organization, but that's where this picture was taken. And it was a huge group of the whole food ecosystem all over the United States, but mostly Lincoln and Nebraska. And food as a medicine, I guess, was definitely one of the topics. Among that, sustainability. And, there's all these desires out there for like, hey, we want to make our cities more resilient. If there was a supply chain issue, what are we going to do with food? And that was a huge concern with the last pandemic. And I'm really excited that I'm putting forth a solution that doesn't take capital to buy more land. It's a solution that really just kind of makes visible the food that is currently being grown, that is invisible, and gives people that are growing food an opportunity to earn an income. And maybe the whole old joke of like gardening as the whole cost to, maintaining and growing a garden might, be the thing of the past. So, yes.
Can you talk a little bit if I'm a grower,
Okay.
you're a consumer,
Mm-hmm.
how does my product get to your kitchen table?
How do I get there?
How's the delivery mechanism?
Sure. In our pilot, we're going to offer two options for buyers. They're either going to do a porch pickup or the grower is going to offer delivery.
One more
Only one?
It went.
Who's got a hard question? This gentleman in the back in the blue.
So obviously you're heavily focused on Nebraska. Is there a platform where we build to expand to other states?
We are going to build to scale. Is that your question? Yeah, we're going to build to scale. Next question, Matt.
This is your truly last one.
All right. We have time. It's only 9:10. Oh, okay. All right.
What is the biggest challenge moving forward?
That is a good question. The biggest challenge moving forward. I don't know. I tell you what, there's just so many challenges. I don't know how to size the different challenges. For me, there's just so many different options. The biggest challenge for me is trying to narrow it down to the one or two things that will make the biggest impact now. What is it that I can get done now?
All right.
So yeah, that's what I'm focusing on.
We have 2 more presenters.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to wrap you up, Jay. You gotta listen to me.
Why did you guys book 4 people?
Jocina?
Hi, my name is Jocina, and I own Kart It Up. And I'm sure you're wondering why there is a K instead of a C. I can assure you that I can't spell English. But this just represents the fact that my items were selling really, really fast. So, I am born and raised in St. Lucia, and I'm part of this Young Leaders of America's initiative, which is funded by the U.S. Department of State in collaboration with IREX and Global Ties Nebraska, right here in Lincoln. We also with U.S. host organizations, and I have the liberty of being with Bean 105. If you don't know, it's down at the Haymarket. Out of 600 plus applicants, 250 successful applicants, only 2 of us from St. Lucia, and I am one of them. Thank you. So this only validated one thing for me. It's a validation of the determination and vision behind what I am building. When Shein arrived in the Caribbean, everyone was ordering on Shein from home, and I'm sure some of you are guilty of it as well. From home to car to business to outdoor stuff. So online shopping for us went from rare to very routine. People made businesses out of it, and I'm actually guilty of that as well. So I saw a different cart. There are a lot of convenient items on Shein that we really didn't know about. Portable printers for small business owners and portable sewing machines for people who like to sew on the go. So I took advantage of that, obviously, and it was very successful. So I had no business going into deep thought, but I did. And I realized we import everything, but we almost export nothing at all. And we have brilliant solution makers who make candles and coffee and tea. And owning a business is not just about profits, it's about relationship and communities. And I think that's proven today from the first 2 presenters. So I integrated their stuff into my store, and I went online. So I stopped physically selling things, and now everything is on cartitup.com with the intention of building relationships with local makers and also putting them on global shelves. So why am I here today? I want to make this possible, but to make this possible, again, I need relationships, I need partners, and I need a community to back me up with this. It has already been listed on the website. However, we still need to integrate into the international market and also the Caribbean market. So with this, we need partners. We need people with resources. We need people who know what paperwork I might need to integrate into the US market. So we can list, sell, and we all can earn as well. Because I don't want just a store. I want an entire community.
What's your experience been like in dealing with logistics and being able to do transportation because everything's being exported? And primarily, where have you found that your markets that you're exporting to? Where are your hotspots?
So my hotspot is actually the US, and it's very expensive for us to ship to the US. It's very expensive to even ship within the Caribbean, within the region. But we are working with people to see if we can get prices, but the best prices since it is local makers. It's been very difficult. Logistics is been very difficult, but we're trying, and I'm not giving up. Yeah.
What stage are you at in your startup?
Right now, it's just a website. So some stuff have been listed. The community people are coming on, trusting me with their items to post up with their prices, everything, and it's just been marketed for now. But right now, only internal people in St. Lucia are the ones ordering, but we are trying to get it above our shores.
You've been in the wildlife program for not too long, but
Yes.
what's something that has been inspiring or exciting, or is that you've learned that you want to take back to Jesus?
Lincoln. I wish I could take Lincoln back to my community. We need a community. We need more community. We need more of this. And this is the experiences that I'm having here, the habits that you have here. I would really like to be a Lincoln person in St. Lucia, bringing the community together. Hi.
Have you considered doing scaling it out to other similar smaller communities? So I'm from a small island called Roatan off the north coast of Honduras, and there's lots of coffee and pineapple production there.
Yeah.
Is this something that could scale to other similar, communities similar to St. Lucia?
Yes, we can, but again, it's the logistics. So I need a partner to help me with that. Even if it's just the documentation I might need just to help me know what I need. Yeah, but we definitely I want to show people how St. Lucian makers and what they can make. Yeah.
One more question.
Yeah.
Do sellers ship it individually, or do they send it to a general distribution center in St. Lucia, and then you handle all the distribution?
So the plan, because we're not doing above shores as yet, but the plan is to send a box, because it's very expensive to ship just one item. But the plan is to send a box to a US partner right here, whether it be a warehouse or somebody with enough space. And then when people order it, the shipping is maybe 1 or 2 days because it's here in the US already. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wait, I have a cup for you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. My name is Marcos. I'm also a YLA fellow from Argentina. And well, I'm happy to have the good luck to be working in this incredible place in Don't Panic Labs in Brinted with Kathy. And well, been learning a lot these days, so happy to be here and tell you a bit more about my company Terra. Well, we are an Argentinian company that is dedicated to treating organic waste. What took me to start the company was the organic waste problem. I saw that there was too much, huge amounts of waste being thrown every day, which 50% of the total waste we get into the trash, it's actually organic. And that organic waste is supposed to go back to the earth. So instead of following that natural cycle, what happens actually is that it goes to landfills, and then when it goes all together, it generates large amounts of CO2 emissions, which contribute to climate change, as we know. And in the other hand, there is another problem that due to the extensive agricultural production systems that we have to get our food mainly, our soils are being degraded and losing nutrients. And on the other hand, another problem is that in cities, for example, in my city where I live, that is called Córdoba, we have our native forest is below the 3% remaining. So we are losing huge amounts of forests and losing ecosystems. So we had these three problems. And with our business model, we want to bring one solution. What we do is closing the loop. We treat organic waste and turn it into compost that is rich soil that can go back to earth. And we also use part of this compost to produce native trees. So we go from waste to forest. We have the purpose and the commitment to plant a native tree for every 5 cubic meters of organic waste that we process. We are already doing it. We've been in business for 3 years. Some numbers from last year is that we got to process 6,000 tons of organic waste in our composting facility, which means that we avoided 3,000 tons of CO2 emissions. That is the equivalent of taking out of the street 1,200 cars for an entire year. And we have, like with our installed capacity, we have the potential to double or triplicate our volume of operations. This is a quick video of our place. We're in a quarry. We are like solar powered. You can see greenhouse on the left. And well, we're surrounded by a great patch of natural forest. And we are like planting trees in the place to remediate, like, and using the soil. Those are the compost piles, the residue on our machinery. Well, right now in this moment, something that I've been working in this placement is understanding like our challenge. The missing link in our circular economy model is that we need to sell all the compost we produce. There is different formats of it. And once we do it, we can close this circular economy model, and we'll be able to scale the impact. We aim to replicate the model because we feel like it is a problem that it's not only in our city, it's a problem that it's everywhere. So if we prove that it works, then we can bring it out to different places. And bringing it out to different places means scaling the impact, right? That is like the main goal. So there's some, if you want to follow like Instagram or stuff, those are information. Thank you.
Question.
Sure.
So one of the biggest problems with this type of program is that people tend to put their fruit and the soap and the Coke can in the same basket. How do you segregate out the organic waste from the non-organic waste?
We do like one strong pillar of our triple impact company is the social part. And we do work really hard with our clients to teach them and to get into people in order to, we a lot of tools for them to separate. Like it's the most, I would say the most critical point. So it's good you bring it up. It's by, telling, teaching, showing videos and stuff. That's a never-ending job. But I always find out that people get really excited. Like once you get to explain and they get to implement that at their places, at their houses, which is also part of what we aim with the impact is for people to take that, maybe something they learn at the job, because we work mostly with companies. So the people who work there take that to like see this practice and take it back home and maybe start a composting at home. So that is like a way to replicate and amplify the impact. Yep.
So with your education, you talked about how you're educating businesses and those employees are going back and doing it at home. Education can be tedious and hard. What's the biggest bang for your buck that you've noticed with your education tactics that have worked the best?
We developed like a team of people who are really good at that. We have kind of different approaches. For example, for schools, we have like one kind of approach. We get a lot of visits in our facility by schools and stuff. So we have like a team of technical and more commercial person, and that will be different. For example, for if we go into an industry, like the approach, I would say like, trying to speak to people, like trying to connect the people, because I feel that we all understand the problem. And so, I mean, if you get there and give tools and show like different ideas, it's just kind of spontaneous.
So can you talk a little bit about how do you sell your product? Do you go through like garden center or, you know, things like that? And then the second thing is that, have you ever considered partnering with Arbor Foundation to do outreach education and promotion?
Yeah.
So maybe get a table at the Earth Day event, things like that.
Well, actually, it's good you bring it up. We're having a meeting tomorrow with Arbor Foundation, so that would be great and really interesting. And to sell the compost, we are more like in a white flag schema right now. Like we sell it like in bags, big bags, or just in big trucks. And we are selling mostly to landscaping companies. And we are like in the work right now of developing like a cool bag and get it into garden stores and retail to, amplify the volume of sales.
One more question.
Her question before I could go to mine.
Okay, yeah, I want you to brag a little bit. You mentioned the businesses that you work with. Tell us some of the corporations and also some of the programs that you've participated in and the recognitions that you've done.
Okay. We mostly, like, since there is no legislation that accompany us in our city, we got to work mostly with big companies. Córdoba is like an industrial place. There is like 2.5 people living there, so there are a lot of factories. And we have like a lot of multinationals such as Coca-Cola, Bimbo, Fiat, Renault, like big companies that they do report ESG to their main houses, let's say. So our service is a bit more expensive than just throwing everything to waste because, well, there are more things involved in the service. Like we do the tree plantations and we sometimes do it also in the facilities of these companies. Every 6 months, that is the time that it brings to the residue to transform into compost. We bag little compost bags for the people in the company. Like we have a lot of differential from just a waste management company. But local companies, due to the economic situation of Argentina, which is really tough in this moment and always fluctuating, like local companies won't hire our service, so we mostly work like with big companies. And we do have like a good, we apply to some funds and to some grants, and we do have like a good reception from the public and the funds mostly. Yep.
Thank you, Marcos.
Thank you. That was great.
You get a mug.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, some community announcements before we wrap up this morning. So the first Open Coffee Thursday mornings down at Crescent Moon, that's around 8 a.m., right?
Yes.
Okay. And then we have the Founders and Friends on Fridays. I think it's still on Fridays. It's 4 o'clock at Boiler Room. And then Escape Lincoln has a women's brunch series that's kicking off next week, May 13th. And the first one will be Resilience and Success. And then May 27th, it's Strategy and Innovation. And June 10th, it's Purposeful Networking. So you can check that out on their site for Escape Lincoln. And then, kind of sad Vaughn's not here. He loves talking about the concert series just downstairs. So there's more of these cards back on the table. It kicks off June 3rd. They're every Wednesday night from 6 to 9, rain or shine. But it's got the lineup. So if you're curious about the music and the concert series, come early to get a parking spot because parking's always crazy, but it doesn't cost you anything. So concert series. Any other community announcements only?
So Lincoln's AI is meeting tonight. We're going to have our Explorers group
meeting, which is the less technical, more business and personal focused AI. That's right here tonight at 6 p.m. You can RSVP at lincolnai.org. That'll redirect you to our web page, but you can find this today.
You can still show up too. You should RSVP because there's food. So you should RSVP if you're planning on eating, but you can still show up. And if you haven't noticed, AI is here to stay and disrupting our world. So if you feel like you're behind, these are great events to kind of catch you up and just be in the know.
Unfortunately, it's a conflicting event, but the
Kathy.
Pub Farmers Market and Music kicks off tonight. Yeah, we're at the Hub Cafe.
Oh.
I think it's pretty early. It might be like 5 to 7.
So then you go for there and then come for the AI event.
Yeah.
You can do both in one night. With that, just in case you didn't know, the local farmers markets just kick off in general. So Saturday mornings down in the Haymarket, and then on Sundays at 10 down at Union College over by the other mill.
They might change I think it's graduation weekend for them. They might change something.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know when it is.
So, be flexible. All right. And Fallbrook is Thursday. You should be briefing the farmers markets. Weird. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. There's still coffee and donuts back there. Stay and connect. I'm kicking you out at 10.